Who wins in a fight between a honey badger and a wolverine? I've compiled tons of stats and details to come to a conclusive answer. And let me tell you, I'm pretty confident in my answer. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's start with the honey badger. These bad boys are native to sub-Saharan Africa, Southwest Asia, and the Indian subcontinent. They're members of the weasel family, getting between 25 and 35 pounds. But let me tell you, that is the most gangster 35 pounds on planet Earth. They're also members of the Guinness Book of World Records as the most fearless animal on planet Earth. But then again, that's kind of obvious. I mean, these things are known to square up with lions. They're also known to steal lions' food and then fight them to defend the stolen food. That's gangster. But lions are not the only ones to get that treatment. They'll square up with hyenas, African wild dogs, leopards. Those paws are rated E for everyone. In fact, there's actually been documented cases of them taking out hyenas and African wild dogs. Maybe not a lion. Mother Nature really created a weasel with the mentality of John Wick. Not a good idea. It's crazy. They also have a really fast metabolism, so they have to hunt multiple times a day. And sometimes this little monster hunts so much that they end up with too much food. And because of that, sometimes they'll go and dig a burrow specifically to hide their food, because they got too much food. Can you imagine having the problem that you realize you hunted too much today? Honey badger problem. Not to mention, they live in Africa, which is probably the hardest ecosystem on planet Earth. And that includes Australia. I mean, we're talking lions, hyenas, African wild dogs, leopards, eagles, black mambas, cobras, rhinos, hippos, Cape buffalo. I'm sorry, ran out of breath there. Too much danger. But the reason they're so confident is because they have all the tools to back it. First off, they're resistant to venom. Any kind of venom. The reason they get the name honey badger is because they're known for eating beehives with the bees in it. And not just bees. They'll eat wasp nests with the wasps in it, or hornet nests with the hornets in it. Just imagine some animal coming over to eat your home, and your food, and your babies, and your primary weapon does nothing. I never thought I'd say this, but I kind of feel bad for the bees. But the crazy part is their venom resistance goes as far as something like a black mamba. They eat black mambas. They also eat cobras and various pit vipers and scorpions. And even if they get bit by one of these highly venomous danger noodles, it doesn't take them out. Now, it will knock them out, but their body has a rapid immune response to venom to prevent it from going too far. So essentially, they just sleep it off for a little while, and then it's on to round two. But that has nothing to do with the fight with the Wolverine. What does, however, is those 1.5-inch razor sharp claws. Those surgical tools are known for ripping into beehives, or ripping into tree trunks, or ripping through the ground to create a burrow. And yes, they can also rip through skin, so there's that. They also have a ridiculous bite force for their size. Their bite is known for breaking open tortoises' shells. Oh, and breaking bones. Probably should have led with that one. And for having little legs, they're actually pretty fast. They can move at speeds of around 20 miles an hour. To put that into perspective, that's faster than the average sprinting speed of an adult human. And for defense, they have this super thick rubbery skin that's basically impenetrable, even for a machete. I'm not even joking. Their skin is also... Wait, can we just take a moment and admire how gangster this picture is? I want to be a honey badger in my next life. But their skin is also super loose, which helps with claws and teeth not being able to penetrate. Oh, and one more thing, they can also spray like a skunk. And apparently, it smells awful. That can probably be the deciding factor right there. Now, let's move on to the Wolverine. These bad boys are found at high altitudes, like mountains, in North America, Europe, and Asia. And they are also a member of the weasel family, except this is the largest member of the weasel family. They could get up to 50 pounds apiece, which isn't very big, but like the honey badger, they don't know that. This 50-pound bag of anger issues is known for taking on animals 50 times their size. But not just fight, they actually win. They've been documented taking out elk, which get up to 1,100 pounds, or moose, which get up to 1,500 pounds, or wolves, which are wolves. Just look at this. That's a full-size elk getting dropped by a wolverine. They're also known to steal food from wolf packs and bears. And according to researchers, those animals let them. Also, like the honey badger, they have a really fast metabolism, so they have to hunt multiple times a day. Except they live in cold climates, so there's not as much food, which means they have to resort to stealing the food from things like bears and wolves, like I said. They do it pretty frequently. Those bears and wolves just don't want that smoke. And honestly, I get it. First off, the Wolverine has molar teeth that are rotated 90 degrees. That helps with crushing bones. Let that sink in. And considering they're found in cold climates, those rotated molar teeth are also designed for ripping into frozen bodies. Can you imagine biting into frozen meat? My teeth hurt just thinking about that. But it's not just the meat. Wolverines are known for eating every single part of an animal, including their bones and their teeth. Make that make sense. On top of that, they also have what some people would consider to be the sharpest claws in the animal kingdom. That's where the superhero gets its name from. And those claws are 4 inches long. That's larger than the claws of a polar bear. I mean, those claws are large enough to make your insides become your outsides. No thank you. And they could run at speeds of about 30 miles an hour. That's faster than Usain Bolt, except they're like this big. And like a honey badger, they also have super thick rubbery skin. So it's basically 2 impenetrable animals trying to penetrate each other. Terrible wording. And I don't know if this means anything, but they're also excellent climbers, considering they live in the mountains. According to some researchers, they are the second best mountain climbers next to goats. And goats can walk up vertical walls. I've seen it. And they can also spray a nasty smell like a skunk too. I don't get it. Both of these animals have enough weapons on their front side. They don't need another weapon coming out their backside. But the most incredible feat for a Wolverine comes out of a zoo in Alaska. According to the zoo, a Wolverine once broke into an enclosure of a polar bear. Apparently, the polar bear attempted to grab the Wolverine, but instead, the Wolverine grabbed it first. This little walking middle finger latched onto the throat of a polar bear and wouldn't let go until the polar bear went on to a better place. In other words, a 1,000-pound carnivore was taken out by an animal the size of a toddler. I don't even have words. In conclusion, when it comes to the battle of the honey badger versus the Wolverine, they're very similar animals with very similar traits. I don't think it would be a landslide in either direction, and if they fought 10 times, each one could go either way. However, I think the ultimate difference maker would be size, because size does matter. And with that being said, I think if they fought 10 times, the Wolverine would win at least 7 of them. Which means the winner of this battle and the king of weasels is the Wolverine. I want to know what you think down in the comments below. Am I right? Does the Wolverine win? Or is the honey badger really built different? I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. And as always, subscribe for more facts.